has become the spot to be. Do you remember, Justin, way back when, where we had to overpay just to get someone in the building? Do you remember when every free agent would be like, hey, yeah, I'll go there, but I need a lot of money, or you know what? I'm not going to Buffalo because they're losers. They don't have good front office stability. Their coaching is atrocious, etc., etc., etc. That is no longer the case. And again, I kind of mentioned this on the Tre'Davious White medical reasons. Oh, that's another reason why to be excited. I knew that I was missing something, but our medical staff, we care for our players. The community comes around and comes together for the Buffalo Bills players. We have a winning culture. Sean McDermott's claps can be heard around the NFL. Free agents can hear the clap, and they're answering the call, at least most recently. I am loving the fact that the Bills are finally getting the respect that they deserve, and it's hard earned, right? People don't want to go to losing teams unless they're getting overpaid. Now we're starting to see some good contracts, and Bean has always been great with contracts. He doesn't overpay for people. He says, you know what, you want to come here? Come here. But it's got to make sense for both of us. I'm not going to overpay for you to come here if you don't want to be here. And we've seen him cut ties with players, with people who don't want to be here, who don't understand the winning culture, e.g. Quentin Spain. I have no issues with Quentin Spain, but he was an example of it. So, for me personally, I think that the Bills and Buffalo, New York, Western New York, has a winning football team, and it's just really awesome because you can just see all the positive energy from multiple fans from outside of Western New York, even outside of the United States, come together and just say, I love the Buffalo Bills, and you can see that with free agency players and people who get picked by us in the draft.
Yeah, you started off saying there, remember way back when it was like this, and it really was that way until just very recently. Yeah. And it wasn't only, getting outside free agents in the building. It was, retaining our own players, whether that was kind of just they didn't like Buffalo in itself or, kind of the losing culture that was around the city. And we think about, Marshawn Lynch wanted out, Stephon Gilmore wanted out.
Didn't Marshawn Lynch, run over someone?
Yes.
In Allentown.
Yeah, he was like, I gotta get out of here. This city.
Yeah, he was driving on Allentown, and he was like, I really gotta get out of here. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
that's terrible to say.
But all that aside, I mean, a guy like Marcel Darius too, and I feel like the Buffalo Bills then were kind of what we see.
Mr. Big Stuff. I'm
Mr.
sorry.
Big Stuff.
God, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So I feel like the Bills then were kind of like what we're seeing in Jacksonville now, of kind of like they draft these good players and they're like hitting their form, and then by the time you get your return on investment, a guy like Jalen Ramsey, one of the best cornerbacks in the league, well, he doesn't want to stick around anymore because you haven't put the product around him. There's been a couple other players that wanted out of town like that. So I mean, looking at what we have now compared to then, you get a guy like Emmanuel Sanders that comes in for a lower contract than, some of the other ones he could have got because he wants to go have a chance at winning a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. And it kind of gives Bean the opportunity to kind of put a number on the position and say, we want a guy at 1 year, $5 million for this season. We're going to go for it. And it's not, chasing down somebody and trying to beg them to come here. It's, 3, 4, 5 guys that might be like, yeah, I can do that contract. And, if somebody says, no, I'm not $5 million, I need $8 million. Well, we set the value and we have other people that are willing to take this offer. So it went from like nobody wanted to come here and you had to chase and beg and overpay and really court people to get them to even consider coming to Buffalo, versus now it's kind of becoming this destination of especially players getting towards the tail end of their career that want to win one. Let me take this small deal and be part of a winning organization, which, as you mentioned before, night and day from what it was even just 5-6 years ago, and it's really exciting to see that direction of the organization.
Yeah, it's just so awesome. Like, I'm gonna share like this quick story. So, I lived in Buffalo because I went to UB for college, and I remember I was really starting to get into the Bills probably my sophomore year. Like, I would watch them when I was younger, but I didn't really understand the game of football that well. But, obviously living in Buffalo and being around Bills Mafia culture before Bills Mafia really blew up really helped, expedite that process. So that was pretty cool. But I remember I was like, yeah, this is right after a year or two, maybe a year. Yeah, second year after E.J. Manuel got drafted. And I'm in Dick's because I'm working at the Melting Pot at the Walden Galleria. Shout out Melting Pot. One of the best jobs I ever had. And I'm like looking through and I see all these jerseys. And this is going to hurt you, Justin. I see 95, 94, and number 3. So, respectively, Kyle Williams, Mario Williams, and E.J. Manuel. I knew in my head, I was like, I'm not getting an E.J. Manuel jersey. Like, no way. And I'm looking down between 95 and 94, and I grabbed the 94, Mario Williams. This guy recently came in. We overpaid the crap out of him to get him into Buffalo. And it's not like he didn't do well, but that was a big contract at the time. And me not knowing the logistics of the salary cap and contracts, but in hindsight, that was what the Bills had to do just to get people in the door. I wish I don't have many regrets, but I wish I could go back in time and grab that 95 Kyle Williams jersey. You know where that 94 jersey is right now, Justin? Take a guess.
Back of the closet somewhere. Hasn't seen the light of day in years.
No. It is fallen into that rare, well, not so rare category of I let my ex-girlfriend wear this and now it's hers. It's fallen into the hoodie zone. It is gone. And I am not upset about it. And I kind of won out because she got me a Josh Allen jersey.
Hey.
To this day, I still have that Josh Allen jersey. She has my Mario Williams jersey. I don't have a problem with her, and I'm sure she doesn't have a problem with me. But I think I won the divorce.
You won the jersey swap.
Yeah, I won the jersey divorce and the jersey swap, but divorce is not the right word. I'll call it the breakup. Really,
it's
Man.
funny. It's funny you have a story about the jerseys that kind of exemplifies that time. Is there was a solid 5-7 years where I wanted to get a new jersey because I didn't have anybody that was currently on the team, but I would get to the point where every time I would get a jersey, the player would be off the team the next year. I got a Stevie Johnson, I got Jarris Bird the year before he went into his holdout and ended up leaving town. I got
Stop buying jerseys.
I got the Carlos Williams from my brother for a Christmas gift the year that he was blowing up. The next season he came in, ends up getting cut. Sammy Watkins. I have a Marcel Darius, and
Yeah, stop buying jerseys.
yeah. So ironically, the one that I have that is kind of, I have a Trey White who's currently on the team, but outside of that, my one go-to that I ended up, I got it autographed, so now I can't wear it, is Kyle Williams, and that's like the one jersey that it doesn't matter how much time passes, Kyle Williams will always be a Bills legend to me. So
Yeah, he's your guy.
yeah, that's my dude there.
He is your guy. And it's hard. He's everyone's guy, right? It's my guy.
It's my guy.
That's my defensive tackle. Yeah, so we kind of went off the deep end here. So what I'm getting, I'll wrap everything back up here. It's awesome that the Buffalo Bills don't have to resort to their old ways in order to get someone in the building. Players want to come here. And it's a mutual thing between the organization and the player. That's awesome. Now, if we had this kind of stability while, the breakup was happening and Mario Williams' contract was a little better, let's say that happened right around now, I'd be probably outside the door like, yo, I need that jersey back.
I'm gonna need that back.
I'm gonna need that back. Like, you can have 2 to 3 of my hoodies for that jersey. Seem fair? And I love my hoodies. I got a good hoodie game. It's almost as good as my sneaker game, but
You don't wear any of them.
That's for they're priceless. All right, all right, we're not gonna get into that. In any event, I don't really have much else to say here, but it is exciting to know that players want to come here, and we've built that culture. And by we, I mean Brandon Bean.
Yeah,
And his company, not me.
I had nothing to do with it, but it is a great time to be a Buffalo Bills fan, and it's like this. It's not even just on the field; it's on the field, off the field. The things you see from the players in the community, like all that, it's kind of just. It's like this retribution for all the years of bad football that we stuck through, and it's kind of just like paying out tenfold now. So we definitely suffered for a long time, but it's great to have this football team, the way it's constructed, the types of players that we have in the building. It's just a really fun time to be a Bills fan.
You know what I just checked? This will be the last thing. She has blocked me on everything. And it wasn't a bad breakup. I really don't think it was, but maybe she became more of a Bills fan and realized that I won out on that trade. Well, I wouldn't even say trade, the jersey acquisition.
She doesn't want to give the Mario Williams. Maybe she changed it to a Vernon Butler jersey and she doesn't want to give it back.
That's even worse. That's even worse.
Gotta have this Vernon Butler.
Oh my god.